guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my January favorites. I know this video is going up a little bit late because Disney content has been taking over, but I am going to be sharing my monthly favorites on YouTube from here on out. If you also read my blog, which is blairblogs.com, there's always a link in the down bar, then you know that I've been sharing my monthly favorites for the past 18 months on my blog in blog posts. This year in 2018, I decided to switch over to doing my monthly favorites on YouTube for a few different reasons, namely because I genuinely think that YouTube is a better platform for sharing monthly favorites because I'm able to really explain and show you the objects in a way that's hard for me to do, objects, products, whatever it is, that's hard for me to do on my blog. So, but if you like this type of content and you want more of it, I have 18 blog posts of monthly favorites from the past year and a half. So I will link that below, and I'll just link the category so you can go and read all 18 of them if you want. I have quite a few on there. So if you read my blog, you know that I set up my monthly, I call them on my blog what I'm loving. I'm gonna call them favorites here on YouTube because that's what they're known to be, so I don't wanna confuse people, but I break it up into categories. And so the following categories are how I have always structured my monthly favorites posts, and that's how I'm gonna do it here too. So I have a food and drink category, and then a makeup and beauty category, and then a home decor and products category. Next is an entertainment category, which includes TV, music, books, and internet. So anything in those four kind of categories falls into entertainment. Then I have clothing and accessories, and then finally I always share a couple of priceless things that have happened that aren't something that are tangible things. So I'm just gonna jump right in, starting with food and drink. So it's funny because two of the things I can't show you right now, but they are bagged ice and banana bread. So bagged ice is a really silly one, but I just love bagged ice from the grocery store, like that delicious filtered clear ice. The reason why we've had to buy that for the past couple of weeks is because our ice maker actually broke really randomly, and we're getting it fixed in I think 3 or 4 days now. But while it's been broken, we've been just buying, once a week, going and buying a bag of ice, and it's like, I don't know what about it feels like such a luxury to me, but I just have loved it, like that, just that clear ice, Our refrigerator ice is cloudy, but bagged ice is not. So anyway, it's just a funny thing. And then also banana bread. I've been making banana bread more recently. I will link the recipe. I will link everything that I'm able to link below. So if you're interested in more information on anything I mentioned, below. So I'll definitely link this banana bread recipe, but I've been making it a lot more lately, and it's so delicious. And I just am reminded, I really like my banana bread warmed up with a little bit of cream cheese on top, because I like making chocolate chip banana bread, and that cream cheese just like cuts the sweetness but adds a creamy factor. Riley really likes it with butter. Some people like it plain. You really can't go wrong. But anyway, so those have been two things that I can't show you. Another thing in the food and drink category is this little coffee cozy. It is a little knit cozy. It is from a shop called Shop Catherine Mason. And I got it with kind of Disney in mind, of course. And it's just so cute. We live in a small town, and one of the only real things that we have to do is a Starbucks, and so my husband and I go on Starbucks dates all the time, and it's so fun to be able to bring this and put this on my coffee, and it just makes me happy. Having just a little bit of Disney makes me happy. But I will say, as this is a nice high quality cozy, I really like it. I really like this shop, but I ordered this on November 5th, and I didn't receive it until January 28th. So it was a long ship. It was I think it was more than double what the shipping estimate was. When I ordered it with Christmas colors, thinking that I would use it around Christmas time. It didn't come in time for Christmas, but then I also obviously had Disney and thought I would bring it to Disney with me, and it didn't come in time for Disney either. So I don't ever want to say anything bad about other small shop owners, but I want you to know that if you go and order something, it may be a longer ship, because this took a couple of months for me to get it. But I think it's really, really cute, and I've used it several times. It just makes me really happy. So that's that. So those are everything in the food and drink category. Let's move on to makeup and beauty. So the first thing I want to share in makeup and beauty is this new travel makeup case that I bought. If you watched my Disney packing vlog, I talked all about this, and I even showed filling it up with the stuff that the different products and makeup that I was bringing to Disney. But basically, in the past, I've just used a traditional, just kind of like a slouchy zipped makeup pouch. And my makeup gets ruined every single time I travel, and it like really is so annoying, because even if I don't always spend a whole bunch of money on makeup, but even if I'm just buying drugstore brands, I don't want it broken. Like, I don't want it broken. So I went to, of course, my trusty Amazon to look for something that was a little bit more sturdier and a little bit more sturdy. And I wanted something that had a hard cover. And this has a hard cover. So on the inside of this, there are various compartments, and there are these little foam dividers, and you're able to move them around and make them, you know, however you want them to, the configuration to be. So when you put your makeup in here, it's very secure. So I put like all of my, I don't know, eyeshadows and mascara and eyeliner and lipsticks and things like that. But when I was able to put it in here, they didn't shift around in transit, and none of my makeup was even the least bit damaged. And I was so thankful. Now up here, there is this little pouch section, and it's lined, you can see, and there are spots for brushes. So I put all my brushes in here, and they didn't get damaged either. And finally, there's a big, long pouch back here where you could put palettes or things like that. I didn't end up using that, I don't think, but you totally could use it. So this was, I think, about $20, and I got it in black because it matches our luggage, and I thought it was it just worked for me. I think there were a couple of other colors, but for about $20, this thing is awesome, and it's huge. I mean, look how big this is. I could fit everything that I wanted to bring. I just loved using this, and it totally worked. So I highly recommend it. If you have had the same issue where your makeup's gotten broken, you might want to look into this, because it really impressed me with how well made it is, and I love that you can change the configuration, because it made it really easy to organize my makeup when we were going away. The next thing in my makeup and beauty category might be my favorite thing that I'm sharing this month, if not one of the top probably 2 or 3 items. This is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. It's a lot of words. I saved the box because I didn't know whether I would like it or not, and I figured if I did like it that I would want to be able to show it to you. So I have been looking for a tinted moisturizer BB cream type of product for a long time, but as you can see, I have very, very, very fair skin, and I can never ever find a BB cream tinted moisturizer that's fair enough for me, and it makes me look orange because I have just like the whitest skin. And so I heard that this was really good. I heard that this was really moisturizing, which is great because I have dry skin, and I heard that it was very pale, and so I was intrigued, and I bought it specifically with Disney in mind because it has 30 SPF in it. But then I thought that would be a really easy thing to do in, you know, you're getting up early in Disney, just putting some tinted moisturizer on your face, and then, you know, moving on with mascara and moving on, which is what I did. This is the shade Opal, by the way, so if your complexion is similar to mine, Opal is the shade that I like. I love this stuff. So then in the box, it comes in a tube that looks like this, and it's so good. It's so good. It's so hydrating. It gives such a glowy look. Every time I wear it, people will say, oh my gosh, you look so glowy. You look so happy. I've had like 10 people say something like that, which is really funny because my skin tends to look dull because I have such dry skin. So this is the only thing that I've changed, and it's just really good. It's very hydrating. Like I said, it has a very dewy, moisturizing finish, so if you like a matte finish, this won't be for you. But I just love it. I use it on days when I'm wearing full coverage foundation. I use a thin layer of it as a primer because I like it so much. And I have a lot of freckles and things like that, so it's funny because I can tell how full coverage a product is very quickly by how much or little of my freckles get covered up. With this, it's kind of like a blurring effect, and so I have rosy red cheeks and an uneven skin tone and freckles, and when I use this, it just feels like my skin just feels definitely more evened out, definitely more moisturized, and it just feels like I just really like it. It takes away the under eye bags just enough, so it's definitely not full coverage, and it's not something that I use all the time, but on days when I just want to wear very light makeup and I just put on this and some mascara and like a light lip gloss, this is so perfect. So anyway, this is definitely like a holy grail product for me. I found it this month in January and I have just really enjoyed using it. So if you're on the lookout for a hydrating tinted moisturizer, and especially if you have pale skin and have had a hard time, they have a lot of shades. So I'm sure that regardless of your skin tone, you could find something, but having really pale skin, products look horrible if they're too dark. And so this one in the shade Opal, which is shade 01, I never have to guess what shade I am in makeup. I just go to the far left. So really enjoyed this, and you might like it too. The last thing in my makeup section, I went around the house with this giant gift bag and just like filled up all these products in it. So if you hear a bag rustling around, that's what. I could probably get something that's a little bit less janky, like a basket, but I saw that and I was like, that'll work. So speaking of janky, this is really janky. This is like the leftovers of the product. I will insert a screenshot, an image of what this product is. So it's basically, it's called In Cocoa Nail Polish Applique. It looks like is what the name is. I don't have the box anymore, but I showed it in my Disney packing vlog the night before we left for our trip. I applied it to my nails and I actually had enough that I could do it on my toenails too. So let me pull out one of these little strips and I'll show you. There are these little strips that look like this, and there are a variety of different colors, and basically it's real nail polish, and it's really weird because it smells like nail polish, which you don't think it's going to, but it smells exactly like nail polish. And you basically just peel off this top layer. Trying to hide my face so it will focus on it. You peel off this top layer, and then the next thing you do is you basically just take, okay, then once you peel the top layer off, you just peel off this nail polish layer. You see this? And you put it on your nail, and you push it down on your nail, and then once it's applied to your nail, you just, so if I put it on this finger, then you just take this tiny, or you could use your own, but they include a little emery board and a little nail file, and you just go downward like this around the edge of your nail to kind of cut the excess of that nail polish sheet off. I hate waiting for my nails to dry, and I like getting shellac and dip nails and that kind of thing, but they really ruin my nails. I got some at Christmas time and my nails are still recovering. So I was looking for something that was a little bit more of a day-to-day usage, and so I got these with Disney in mind again, and put them on the night before, and I figured if these stay on for Disney, then I can use them at any point in life, because Disney, you're getting on and off rides, you're in restaurants, you're using your hands a lot. And these stayed on perfectly for the entire week we were in Disney, and then almost for a whole entire other week after that. So I highly recommend these. They were about $8. I got them from Ulta. Again, I'll link them below, but I will definitely be buying a little stash of these to keep on hand for times when I want to put on nail polish. I love that there's no dry time. They stayed on so well, and what I love so much is that you can just use normal nail polish remover and remove them. You don't have to soak, you don't have to do any foil, and you don't have to do anything like that. You can just use normal nail polish remover and it comes right off because it's just a sheet of nail polish. And actually in this kit, I had enough that I was able to do my 10 fingers, and then I was also able to do my 10 toes with the leftover product. And my toenail polish is still on perfectly fine. And it's been 3 to 4 weeks since I applied it. So I don't know, I highly recommend this. It's worked really well for me, and I'm definitely gonna try some more. But it passed the Disney test, which is a pretty good test to pass. Okay, moving on to home decor and products. This is kind of a catch-all category, as you'll see. There are all different types of things that are in this grouping. The first thing that I'm going to share is this sign that I purchased in Epcot in the Festival of the Arts. It is by a company called Sugar Boo Signs, and so I will link them below if I can, but I'm just want to be upfront. I'm not sure how easy or difficult it will be to get this sign. I framed it myself, but basically this sign is, you can read it. I just love it. It's like encapsulates so much of my heart toward 2018, and especially in light of 2017 and 2016, which were a little rocky, but it's printed on this beautiful thick paper that has a lot of texture. So I don't know if you can really see that. Yeah, you can see it. I just think it's really beautiful. So that's one thing in the home decor and products category. Another thing in the home decor and products category, I told you this is kind of a crazy category, are these Puffs Plus Lotion Vicks tissues. So I had the flu earlier, and these are just so awesome. They're so good. The tissues are like infused with Vicks, that vapor rub scent. And it's really weird because you think like when you're blowing your nose, you're blowing out. So how would you, but when you blow your nose and then it's like you get this shot of like cool, I don't even know, this like cool eucalyptus type scent that like goes through your sinuses. Using these, it feels so good. So if you've been sick, go and pick these up. And they also are the Puffs Plus Lotion, which are just really soft in general, but the Vicks, it feels so good when you're sick to blow your nose with these. So I know a lot of people are sick right now. You should grab a box of these. I really, really enjoyed using them. Another thing in this category is this, which looks kind of like a hot mess, but it's hard to make this look nicer. This is an electronic pulse massager, and so those of you who have been to physical therapy or been through chiropractic care or something like that, you might be familiar with this. But basically there are these little pads that you can put anywhere on your body. I put them on usually my neck and shoulders, sometimes on my back. I have scoliosis, so I deal with chronic back pain. And then you turn this on and it basically shoots an electrical current to the pads. And you can look into it online and read all the science behind it and whatever, but I used to get this all the time at the chiropractor. And Riley gave this to me in my stocking actually this year. It's a pretty inexpensive version off of Amazon. And I use it almost every night. I get in bed and I put it on my shoulders and it just helps those muscles relax. It feels so good. So if you deal with neck and shoulder pain or lower back pain, I mean, you can use this in other places, like you could use it on your leg or something like that too, but a lot of people do end up using it on their back. So if you deal with back pain, I highly recommend grabbing this. It's a really, really easy way, and it is portable. So like you could put the pads on and put this in your back pocket and walk around the house and get things done. It really relaxes me, so I like to do it in bed, but it's a really good way to manage back pain, or just muscle tension. So if you have either of those, you might want to pick this up. I think it's about $30 or so. I'll leave a link below, but I always like to share anything that's helping me deal with my back pain, because I know that a lot of y'all who are following along also have various different back issues, and you've brought those up to me, and it's always good to share information of how to manage it, because living in chronic pain isn't always easy. But this has been this little electronic pulse massager. There's a couple other names for it, but that's what it says on here. Is awesome, so I highly recommend it. The next two things are things that have become old favorites, but I'm just so obsessed with them. I keep bringing them up all the time, and they are the Erin Condren notebooks. I recently filmed a plan with me. I'll link it above if you want to go check it out. But I've been using this. I do to-do list style planning. You can go watch that plan with me video if you want to learn more about it. I've been using this since September 17th, so for several months now, and I've already used up this whole book. And now I just got a new notebook to start fresh with more to-do list style planning. This style of planning works perfectly for me, and I think part of the reason why it works perfectly for me is that these books just make me so happy. I love that they are personalized, this one, and you get to choose the cover, you get to choose the coil color, you get to choose all the colors of the design on the cover. So like this is a black background, but I could have made it like teal or hot pink, or you can do whatever you want. And then you can put your name on it, or you can put a phrase or something. And what I love so much is that the paper is so thick, because I really like these Pilot Precise V5 pens, and they are very inky pens, and they bleed through a lot of paper, but they don't bleed through this. And so I've been using this whole notebook. I only use my Pilot V5 because I'm just like obsessive like that, and I'll only use that in this notebook. As always, I always have a $10 off, a $10 gift certificate to Erin Condren below. So you're welcome to click on that. You just click on it, enter your email, and then you'll be emailed a code for a $10 gift certificate toward Erin Condren. But these are just like quality products. They just make me so happy to write in. I've been using them for months. I already have this new one because this week I'm finishing up with this one. So I just have to mention those, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, like, how do you organize your days? How do you organize your schedule? This is how. These notebooks are how. And like I said, I have a couple of videos about that on my channel, but these notebooks make it fun, you know? And like, I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to infuse just a little bit of whimsy and fun into your day, and having these patterns and everything, it just makes me really happy. The last thing in this home decor and products category is a new house of belonging sign. So I'll insert some footage of what it looks like. It's actually right over here to my left as I'm filming this. But it is this beautiful sign. We have a house of belonging sign. House of Belonging is the Etsy shop. We have a house of belonging sign over our fireplace and we just adore it. And we were looking for some art for this front room and I just fell in love with this particular sign. It is a Bible verse out of, I think it's Isaiah 45. Anyway, it's just beautiful. The words are beautiful and so powerful, and I just love the craftsmanship of these signs. So House of Belonging on Etsy, if you're interested in checking them out. They have lots and lots of different types of signs, and you even can submit a custom sign request. Okay, moving on to entertainment, which encompasses TV, books, music, and the internet. So the first thing I'm going to share about is a new app that I am obsessed with. This app is called Marco Polo, and it is basically like FaceTime, if FaceTime and texting had a baby. It's basically FaceTime texting. So the idea is you send a video message to a friend and your friend watches it in her own time. She can watch it live, but she can also watch it the next day, and then when she has a chance, she responds with a video message. It is such a more, first of all, there's no miscommunication in the way that texting can be, because you can't like, it's much harder to read a message incorrectly when it's being spoken rather than written, you know what I mean? But then it's also just fun, and I feel like I've bonded with some of my friends more through using Marco Polo. Some of my friends in town, I have some of my friends from across the country, a couple of my mom friends from college who live across the country who are really busy, but we're able to connect like this, like every day, just sending short messages. Hey, I'm thinking of you. If I'm at the store and I see something, I can take a quick video and say like, hey, look at this. You know, the app interface is great, and I use it constantly. One of my friends in town here, she wouldn't mind me saying this, she's very open about it, but she is dyslexic, and so she has a really hard time with texting. It's just not her preferred means of communication, and so she asked me if I would get this app so we could communicate a little bit easier, and I was like, of course. And so I got into it specifically with her, and so it's called Marco Polo, and we were Marco Poloing all the time, and now I've like roped all of my friends into it because I love it so much. So Marco Polo is a great app. It's really fun. I think you can do group chats and things. I've only ever done it one-on-one, but it's just really great. The next thing is an audiobook, and the audiobook is called The Year of Living Danishly, Uncovering the Secrets of the World's Happiest Country by Helen Russell. Of course, you could read this in a traditional book, but here's what it looks like on my little Audible app. But this year, my goal was to listen to 12 audiobooks, because I just am not very good at reading books right now, and I've already listened to 6, and now it's February when I'm filming this, but it's basically we're 1 month into the year and I've listened to 6. So this was definitely a good goal for me and a good way to go. I've so enjoyed listening to it. But this particular book, the narration was hysterical. I absolutely loved the narrator. There was another book I listened to that I'm going to talk about later that I think I'm going to share on Instagram. So go follow me on Instagram. I'm going to start doing my audiobook reviews there. But I listened to a book and the content was great, but the narration was just really bad. Really not. It didn't add anything. In fact, I think it took a lot away from the book. But this book in particular, I felt like the narrator did such a good job of capturing the author's feelings and experience. So basically the story, it's a nonfiction story about a woman who lived in England, and her husband got a job working for Lego in Denmark, and so they moved out to Denmark, and it was just the year was just wild for her. It was so much culture shock. It was just like ups and downs and crazy, just all these different like hilarious little stories that happened to her, and just all these things of becoming acclimated with the Danish culture and their customs and all these things. And she just shares all these little anecdotal moments throughout the year, and the book is separated into months because it was a year. I just loved it. It was a long audiobook. I think it was over 12 hours long, and I listened to it in 3 or 4 days. I could not stop listening to it. So if you're looking for a good audiobook that tells a really great story, it's a true story, I love the way it's written, and I really love the way it's narrated, I highly recommend this book. Again, it's called The Year of Living Danishly by Helen Russell. Just loved it. Really, really loved it. Next in entertainment, I have two more. One is a movie. I loved The Greatest Showman. I went and saw that, and just Riley and I really enjoyed it. I just think a lot of you have seen it, and the soundtrack is great too. I've been listening to that all the time. And the last thing in my entertainment section is this book. It's called Healed and Set Free. It is a Christian devotional. I've been going through it with the women in my church, and we've been doing a weekly Sunday night Bible study to go over our learnings and findings and what God's saying to us about the past week. But it's broken up into 10 weeks, and each week there are 5 days worth of content. So it's basically every weekday for 10 weeks. So it's 50 studies. It's a lot of studies. It's an intense book, but it is so powerful. And basically the idea of her little tagline is, God doesn't change the past, but he can change the meaning of the past. And so the book is broken up into all different categories. And the author equips you with scripture and biblical tools to help overcome different things like anxiety, eating disorders, going through seasons of darkness and depression, marital challenges, a variety. She really runs the gamut of all different kinds of things that we face as humans walking through our lives. And it's just been so powerful. I have just thoroughly enjoyed going through this study. It's been really powerful to do with other women, but this is not built to do as a Bible study. You could totally do it. I mean, as a group Bible study, you could totally do it just you. I just recommend at least looking into it. It's really good, really powerful. And you could, if you did it on your own, you could kind of pace yourself. If you end up doing it, email me or send me a message on Instagram or something. I would love to hear, what you're learning through it, because it's intense. It's really powerful. And what I love is that the author shares stories almost every day of the study. She shares testimonies and stories of women who have walked through all these different difficult things and have been healed and set free from that pain, and what that looked like, and what their journey looked like. And it's just really powerful to hear someone else who has kind of gone before you. So anyway, Healed and Set Free. It's by Tammy Brown. It's a really strong, powerful book if you're looking for a good devotional. In the clothing and accessories category, I just have one thing that I have mentioned in about every single one of my videos recently, because I'm just obsessed with it, and it is this pearl that I picked out in Epcot while I was in Epcot. So basically, I'll link the video above that shows you the whole experience, but you basically choose an oyster in the Japan Pavilion in Epcot. They crack it open, you get to see what kind of pearl you got. I got this beautiful silvery one. I put it on this pendant. Love this. It just has a lot of significance and meaning to me. There's a piece of hair on it from wearing it. Sorry. Anyway, a lot of significance and meaning. I love it so much. I've really enjoyed getting to wear it. And my last category is priceless, and these are things that you can't put a price on, although one of them you can put a price on, but you know what I mean. So the first one is, we hosted our church's post-Christmas Christmas party here in early January on January 7th. I vlogged it. I'll link that above if you're interested in watching that vlog. But basically, we couldn't find a time that most people at our church could attend a Christmas party around Christmas or before Christmas, so we just decided to bump it after the new year when people had a little bit more of a flexible schedule. And so we ended up doing it on January 7th. I hosted it here. Obviously, Riley, my husband, and I hosted it together. We had such a fun time, and having a group of friends in our home is such a blessing to my heart after having walked through a long season of not having a community and not having any friends. And so it was just a really nice full circle moment, and we just had a really good time. It was really fun to spend time together and celebrate Christmas after the fact, and it made the holidays feel so much longer because the holidays weren't over on December 26th. We still had until January 7th, which was really fun. And then, of course, my second priceless thing on this list was our trip to Disney World, which I've obviously mentioned several times in this video. I know everyone has a different place. A lot of people have different places that are kind of their vacation spot. And some people really want to be in the mountains, and some people really want to be in their family's cabin or at a specific beach or something like that. And I never thought that Disney World would be that place for me, but it just has become that place for me where I feel so relaxed and so joyful and happy, and just and it's so cool because Riley feels the same way, and we just love it. And I know it's not for everyone, and I know not every adult couple would want to go to Disney World on their yearly vacation, but we just love it. And so we went in January. Obviously it wasn't priceless. We spent several $1,000s on the trip, but the memories really are so priceless to me, and it's just so precious to me to get away with just my husband and just enjoy that time and make memories and laugh and have fun. It was such a good time, and I vlogged that and I've shared trip reports. So if you're a Disney person, my channel is riddled with Disney content right now, which has been really fun. And there's more to come actually, I'm not finished yet, but I loved it. We both loved it, and I'm just really thankful to have had the opportunity to get away and to go somewhere that's so much fun and so special to us and just make more memories, and we really loved it. So those were my favorites from January. I hope you enjoyed hearing in different categories, different things that I've been loving lately. I would love to hear from you. What have you been loving lately? What are some things that have come into your world that you've really, food or drink or makeup or accessories or clothing or home decor that you've really enjoyed lately? I always love to hear from you guys, and you guys always have the best, most interesting ideas and products and everything. So definitely share with me in the comments below if there's anything that's really, you know, impacted you lately that you really love. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I am going to do a favorites video every month for 2018, at least, if not further than that. And so I will see you guys next time on my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.